Notre Dame spring practice opens up this week, March 19th. Want to talk some position battles, both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. But we're going to go a step further, folks. Let's predict the outcomes and winners of those battles next. Ryan Roberts from A to Z Sports, breaking down everything Notre Dame football, folks, getting you set for the spring practice period to officially begin. We are going to blink our eyes, and the 2025 college football season is here. And over the last couple weeks, all I've been talking about, or mostly what people have been talking about, I guess, just in a full vacuum perspective, have been about position battles this offseason. Offensively, defensively, what are the positions that are open? Who are the players that are fighting for it? Did a couple videos recently at A to Z Sports on this conversation. But I wanted to take this one a step further. Let's make some predictions. Now, we're ultimately not going to know who wins these battles more than likely after the spring. That's just kind of not Marcus Freeman's style, right? Like, we'll start to get a little bit of tea leaves and we'll get to kind of, guess it, an educated guess. But overall, we're talking about positions that will be raging on from a battle perspective until the opening game against Miami. But I'm going to call my shot here before spring practice even comes. Let's talk about the key position battles and who I see end up coming out on top in the end. Quarterback, and we're going to rapid fire through this, folks. Steve Angeli, Kenny Minchey, CJ Carr, all fighting for the battle. Each one of these quarterbacks has a unique selling point to win the starting quarterback battle for Notre Dame. I'm going to predict the winner, the starting quarterback for the University of Notre Dame when they take on the Miami Hurricanes will be Steve Angeli. I think that the perceived experience and maturity will win out ultimately. We know that Marcus Freeman, although he is aggressive in some decision making at times for third or fourth down conversions and all that type of stuff, he is a guy, though, that is still a defensive coach. That is he's a little safe at the quarterback position at times. He wants a guy that is not going to turn the ball over a ton, a guy that makes the proper decisions. I think that Steve Angeli wins out in the end. It doesn't mean that he's going to be the starting quarterback for the duration of the 2025 season, but that is my guess and my prediction, starting quarterback for Notre Dame to begin the 2025 season. Let's now jump over to left tackle. I'm going to predict Charles Jagasaw beats out Anthony Knapp. I think it's big for the spring specifically that Charles Jagasaw is fully healthy and Anthony Knapp's on a little bit of a pitch count. He's going to be a little bit limited, obviously coming back from that injury that cost him game against Ohio State. My prediction, Charles Jagasaw is the starting left tackle. Anthony Knapp is going to play potentially inside at guard, or at least giving an opportunity to compete in the end. On the defensive side of the football, let's go to the will linebacker position. One spot that I want to talk about and touch on here. Kingston Viliamu-Asa, Jaden Ausberry. You can throw in some Jalen Sneed. Obviously, he's the oldest of the group, but I do think this one comes down to Kingston Viliamu-Asa, and it comes down to Jaden Ausberry. I'm going to predict Kingston Viliamu-Asa wins it as a true sophomore this year. Showed a lot of flashes as a true freshman. My thought process here, he fits the modern mold as far as a base down linebacker, has a little bit more size, a little bit more physicality, but Jaden Ausberry in this heavy rotation is going to be a guy that can do a little bit of everything. He'll be playing will at times. He'll be playing rover at times. He'll be moving up all over the place, utilizing his versatility. It's kind of a little bit of a swing player that's going to play a ton of football for Notre Dame in 2025. Now, working back to safety, my last prediction here for you all. We know Adon Schuler is going to be a starting safety for Notre Dame, obviously off of the great freshman, first-year starter, I should say, in 2024, when he had 3 interceptions, 59 total tackles, 8 pass breakups. But who's going to start next to him? You have Virginia Tech transfer Jalen Stroman. You also have Jadon Blair, true freshman. You have Bronte Johnson, who played a lot of corner, actually, last year as a freshman when he was healthy. And you also have Kennedy Urlacher. You have Luke Talich. There's a lot of really talented safeties in this room. I'm going to go starter game 1 is going to be Jalen Stroman, the transfer from Virginia Tech. But I do think two interesting tidbits that I think will happen because of this is we see a similar role that what Kyle Hamilton played during his true freshman season for Jadon Blair in 2025. He's going to be that third safety technically, but he's going to be rotating a lot. Wouldn't be shocked if we see some 3 safety alignments because of his athleticism. He's going to make some eye-popping plays and eventually ascend to be the starting safety in 2026, but a huge role potentially for Jadon Blair. My other one, Bronte Johnson played a lot of corner as a true freshman out of necessity. I think that the safety group is so deep this year that we could see Bronte potentially stick a corner and maybe be the next guy, whether Christian Gray enters the draft after the 2025 season or whether he's replacing one of Leonard Moore or Christian Gray the next year after that. I do think that Bronte Johnson could potentially stick at corner and could be the future of the position. Folks, give me some predictions. Quarterback, left tackle, hit on will linebacker, hit on safety. What are some other position groups that you want to see have a heavy competition? Who are some players that you think are going to come out on top? Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll talk to you guys very soon as we continue to talk about spring practice, Notre Dame football, the 2025 season. Go Irish.